but a frustrating topic. But let's start with big picture, Jared. Just how serious is this issue right now?
Well, it's very serious. Companies are spending records amount every year, exponentially more money to try to slow this down and counter it. And every time you innovate with access to accounts, different types of accounts, different types of transactions, the bad guys innovate to take advantage of that. And like you alluded to earlier, they're targeting the elderly for several reasons. Number one, it's obviously a different technology than you're born with, so you're not as accustomed. But the other reason, it's the deep pockets theory. Statistically, you're going to have more money later in life. You're going to have more years to save. So if you're going to look at the best target, it's going to be somebody who's older. So that's really who they're going after, which it's always been the case, where you go after somebody who you can take advantage of, unfortunately. So we're going to try to go over some topics today that can maybe help out with some of those more common.
Right, to give people a warning. So tell us, what other kind of scams are you seeing?
A big one's like impersonation scams. And you have to watch out for these. It's not like, hey, you want an extended warranty on your auto insurance. A lot more today are calling saying, hey, we're from Social Security. We're from, DMV. We're from, the IRS. And they present themselves as someone that they truly aren't. And I tell some clients, if it just doesn't seem right, like always look at the number. And if it says, hey, I'm from the IRS, I'm from Social Security, I'm from X, Y, or Z, then, if they're being, just mean or really, pushy, hang up and then call, say, okay, well, if you truly are concerned, what if it was the IRS or what if it was Social Security? Go to the websites. They're going to give you a number. Hey, call it. Exactly, a legitimate number. Call them back and say, hey, look, here's who I am. Here's what kind of call I got. Is there a certain division? Sometimes we don't have a department that's X, Y, or Z. So that's something I'm telling, if it doesn't feel right, you can politely hang up and call back to the actual number of the company or the administration that they're trying to be, or intimidate or impersonate, I should say. Call them back, on the legitimate phone number and ask questions. And they may say, oh, yes, that is, a legitimate department and personnel. Let me get you in touch with someone.
Right.
Then at least you've reached them and that they'll help, point you in the right direction or tell you whether or not it was a legitimate call or a claim that they were talking about.
All right, trust your gut. But this is scary, this new type of scam. We're hearing about scammers using AI to copy voices and even create fake videos. Jared, how serious is this threat? And how can you protect yourself from this when it can trick you?
Well, look, while it is very scary and it's serious, the stats actually say that about 88% of all of these successful attacks are self-imposed or it's human error. So most of the failures in this cyber attack world are going to come from people clicking on something they shouldn't, giving information away that they shouldn't, or giving access when they should not. Kind of like Scott was alluding to about the request for information or please click on this. That's the ones that get you the most. So while these sophisticated kind of AI generated things are happening, and we've actually had clients here tell us about family members that had his voice call. We've got a doctor who says, look, they called in using my voice and they got my dad with this, or they got my mom with this. So it is very scary, but most of them are you clicking on the wrong thing. So it's kind of like anything, you can still do the right things and you'll probably be okay. And if you go back in time to when the debit card took control over the check, everybody said, oh my God, my data is going to be everywhere. Right. And what if they start charging me? And the thing is, there is accounting methods that can backtrack all this stuff. And if there is a transaction that shouldn't have happened, they can backtrack most of it.